sterling efforts.
My Lords, it's painful for me to find myself in disagreement with my noble friend, Lord Young of Cookham. It's astonishing that he has brought this bill forward in the middle of the COVID pandemic. It's absolutely well established that there are three principal risk factors in relation to the harm that you suffer if you contract COVID and fall ill with it. And they are age, sex, and smoking. If you want to avoid the harmful effects of COVID infection, you want overwhelmingly to be young, you want moderately to be female, and you want mildly to be a smoker. But he doesn't want to put that fact on the cigarettes. I looked in vain in the schedule for a piece of scientific evidence for a statement that would derive from that scientific proposition. Because what he actually wants to put on the cigarettes, the words in the schedules, is lurid propaganda, not facts, not evidence. So we'll turn first to the evidence. The evidence, I was confused, and I'll give way if my noble friend wants to explain. I was confused by what he said about evidence for the effectiveness of this measure. He said, first of all, it had never been tried, and therefore there was no evidence. He went on to say that there were a number of peer-reviewed studies since 2015 on the effectiveness of health warnings on cigarettes. Perhaps he meant on cigarette packs, but he actually said on cigarettes. So what is it? Is there evidence that this measure he's proposing is going to work? Or, since it's never been tried, is there no evidence? So my view is that it's likely that he's saying there is no evidence at all. And so we now have a bill promoting propaganda with selective statements on the basis of no evidence at all. Why should we want to do this? The second reason is that this bill is, and this is a really awful pun, but it is a smokescreen. It is a smokescreen because it is intended as a provocation on the way to achieving the objective, the stated objective of action on smoking and health, which is a smoke-free Britain or a smoke-free UK by 2030. I think that's the target date. I'm happy to be corrected. A policy for which there is absolutely no electoral mandate or evidence of electoral support. And it would be better if those promoting these provocative and regressive measures were to be more honest about what they say and come forward with a bill that actually decriminalises smoking cigarettes so that we can have that debate. And finally, it is a patronising bill because it is based on the assumption that adults are incapable of making an appropriate trade-off between the pleasures of cigarette smoking and the undoubted risks that it brings to the smoker. And that is another reason that I think this House really should have nothing to do with it. My Lords, in my limited experience here, some bills are bad bills, but other bills, this is the first one I've ever come across that I really do suspect is just designed to provoke. This is one of the latter. I really hope that the government will not give it its support and that it will not pass.